Test? Yeah, that'll work. Hello, and welcome to the very first episode of The Troy Show, a podcast that, I'm your host, Troy Pearlzak. I'm the host of The Troy Show. And this podcast is going to be about sports in general. I'm going to throw in as much life knowledge as I can, as I have to offer up to my age of 31. Ripe old age of 31. I'm old. I'm in a weird place. I'm old for a college kid. I'm way too old for a college kid, but I am in college. Sports broadcasting at Full Sail University. I have about 6 months left. Maybe. I should be finishing up around January. Then who knows? I want this to be the career. I don't want to have to go work for an ESPN or a Barstool. As great as they seem, I'm just man, I'm stubborn as hell. I am. And look, this is an awful audition. Okay, if a Barstool or an ESPN wants to hire me, please, I'll take the job, and I'll do it with great effort and intensity. But this is pretty cool, though. Look at this. I got my own studio. I just got back from the gym. I made a little dinner. DiGiorno, deep dish, 3 cheese in the crust, pepperoni pizza. Come on. That's a dinner right there. That's a post-workout meal right there. And then I came down here and I said, you know what? Let's start the Troy Show. I've been planning this for probably years. My friends and family are sick and tired, I'm sure, of hearing me talk about the Troy Show and the podcast I'm going to set up. But here we are, first episode. It's time to dive in, and we're diving in. And what a day to dive in. It's currently Monday, November 13th, about 9 o'clock at night, and I'm still not over the Jets losing to the Raiders, the Giants getting their you-know-what's kicked by the Cowboys. The Yankees are in the middle of doing nothing this offseason. The Nets are looking like a team, what are the Nets right now? The Nets are about a step ahead of a rebuild. They're kind of like me, stuck in between being too old for a college kid and too young to not take chances. Let's see. What about the Knicks? The Knicks are doing well. There's a lot of hype around the Knicks. Now, admittedly, I have not been following basketball as much as I should. I didn't start following basketball. Maybe someone out there is like me. I didn't start following basketball until college, which was a blessing in disguise because I'm a free agent. I'm based in the New York, New Jersey area. I grew up going to Continental Arena, seeing the Nets play. But when all my friends in college were watching it and they all had these diehard teams, and we all know the roller coaster, the ups and downs of being a fan. It's great and it sucks at the same time. The great thing about being a free agent is I can just watch and enjoy the game. And I do. I love the game of basketball. There's nothing better than playing the game of basketball. One more time. For me, there is nothing better than playing the game of basketball. Now, the actual NBA. I started watching in 2012, 2013. Around that time, the Spurs were at the tail end of what was a tremendous run. LeBron was in Miami, I believe, when I started watching. The Spurs had just beat LeBron in Miami to win the championship. So that was pretty cool. And that fired me up because, I'm not a fan of super teams. I'm not at all a fan of super teams. I get it. I get it. And maybe I'm a little bit jaded because, I'm not a fan of the Nets. I follow the Nets and that super team disaster. But it's not that I'm not a fan of it. Let me walk that back. Let's give the hamstrings an exercise here. Let's walk this back. Super teams are fine. They're fun. They're exciting, man. Dwayne Wade to LeBron James, that famous picture. What a picture. Was that Wade or was that Bosch? I don't know. But, there's an amazing picture out there if you guys haven't seen it where key moment. So, I don't know, whatever. But one of LeBron's teammates just flipped him with an alley and ran, kept his momentum going and looked at the camera with his arms, like this. And then you got LeBron behind him. Oh, and like this, for those that are just listening, like this means I have my arms out and I'm showboating. But then you have LeBron behind him just throwing it down. Prime LeBron. Ooh, what an animal. Super teams are fun. But the fundamentalist in me, man, there's nothing better than seeing a team go up and down the court offensively without hardly dribbling the ball. Pass, 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 shoot. That's a lot of fun. And that's what the Spurs were when I first started watching. The Curry current Warriors run. Semi-current Warriors run. Warriors run that's coming to an end, maybe. Steph Curry's getting old, huh? He's getting a little bit old. That was a heck of a team to watch. Because what they did is they combined basketball. They combined the Spurs fundamentalist at the same time, right? Because Steve Kerr had this team just humming. Man, this team was known for having depth. Early Warriors. Forget the exact years, but man, 2013, 2014, 2015, sometime around. Somebody will yell at me and correct me. That's all right. This team was humming. They were the Spurs with great ball movement. But then they had Clay and Steph that were just lighting it up, and they were deep, and it was team ball. And then eventually you get to the Kevin Durant Warriors and, all these other super teams, supposedly. I'm also a fan of Giannis, right? What about Giannis? What do we like about Giannis? What do I like about Giannis? Giannis said, when everyone told him not to, when everyone said, don't do this, Giannis said, I'm not going to form a super team. I'm going to stick it out here in Milwaukee. Then sure enough, you add some pieces that, Drew Middleton, I believe. Oh my God. I had his name on the tip of my tongue. They had a pain in the neck team. They have a pain in the ass team. And good on Giannis. He goes, I'm going to stick it out here in little Milwaukee. I'm going to win a championship here. And you can hate him for his free throws or whatever other criticisms were out there. He stuck it out in Milwaukee. And he said, I'm not leaving just to go join a super team. He said, I'm going to win here. And he did. And he hit free throws when it mattered. And he silenced the crowd. And sure enough, I was big into the Nets. And you have the Kevin Durant toe on the line game. So close. But man, they are a heck of a team over there in Milwaukee. Yeah, now you add Lillard. He's finally out of Portland. You got to be picking them to win the championship. I haven't been watching much, but that is a tough team. And Lillard is a straight baller. We all know that. He was locked up in Portland. I let him go. So, yeah. One of the things I was thinking about earlier, and maybe this is a topic for another podcast. It might be. But as I get older and as sports become more of a business, it's kind of like you get older and sports become a business, right? And you could start winning and there's like a graph going up and you could start winning money and you start thinking about your ride to work the next day and you start thinking about, all these things, all the ways that sports is going to affect your outside life. Am I going to win the bet? Am I going to win my fantasy league? Is it going to be annoying tomorrow to go into work and have to talk to everybody about how bad the Jets are? My life. Yeah. That comes up. But if you think back and you remember when you were a kid, man, it was just sports. It was the escape from your life. It was the escape from homework. I want to do my homework. I want to go watch the Yankees. Thank God I grew up, was born in 92. I got to watch the tail end of that Yankees dynasty. I remember vaguely 98, the 2000 World Series I remember. But it's that fandom, it's that escape. It's, you're just excited because you have a favorite player and he's going on the field. You don't have a favorite player that now you're worried about. Is he going to get another contract? Is he going to leave the team? Does he like to coach? Is he going up against somebody in fantasy that can hurt me? You don't think about any of that. You just sit down and you went, you had your little bowl of popcorn and a Coke, and it was game time. It was the escape, right? So it's kind of like you get older, right? And the money and what you gain from sports goes up, right? But that escape level starts way up high. And it starts to come down. And there's nights now where I don't want to turn on the game. Certainly the Jets, I mean, God, yesterday was tough to watch. As a Jets fan, yesterday was tough to watch. You love the defense. What was tough to watch about it is we already know the offense sucks. Another podcast is going to be about Zach Wilson. My thoughts on that. I'm still on his bandwagon, by the way. But give me a chance before you turn this off. Give me a chance to explain that. What's hard about watching the Jets right now is that their offense is so inept. And for whatever reason you want to say this, and they're probably all valid, and the defense is so good. It's such a yin and yang. It's wild to see. But you see the defense start to break down at the end of the game yesterday against the Raiders. I mean, Antonio Pierce had Josh Jacobs just boom, boom, boom. At the end of the game, Josh Jacobs looked great. He was jump cutting. He was spin move. He was power football right up the gut. And he was getting what felt like 6 to 8 yards a carry late in the game because the defense was so tired. And the defense is fantastic. And they were still making plays late in the game that they had the late fumble. Man, the Jets defense, such animals. Sauce Gardner is tough as hell, by the way. There was a couple tackles. There was the C.J. Mosley, Sauce Gardner joint tackle against, I think it was Devontae Adams. It was a 3rd and inches, and it was right. Maybe it was Josh Jacobs. It was Josh Jacobs. I remember because Josh Jacobs stood up, and the announcer said he's usually lower. But C.J. Mosley and Sauce Gardner were a factor in him standing up, and they stood him up right on the line, and it was, a sure thing. It was a 3rd and inches. A sure thing they were going to get it. They made it a close play. This Jets defense is awesome. So much fun to watch. The offense, who knows? It's miserable. Aaron Rodgers is supposed to come back on the 15th of December. He said mid-December. 15th of December. That's my... Who are the Jets playing that? Wonder if it's going to be a divisional game. It's late in the season. We have the Dolphins twice. Do we have another one with the... Yeah, we got the Bills coming up, but he won't be around. That's next week, I think. The Jets, everyone is saying that the Jets' schedule has eased up. That was a narrative for a little bit. They have a tough-ass schedule. They really do. They have the Browns left. They have the Bills left. They have Miami twice. I think. Maybe it's Miami one more time. I really should research this stuff before putting it out there. So I apologize, guys. But that was kind of the point of this whole podcast. I didn't mean to get into all of these details here. I just wanted to introduce myself. Again, my name is Troy Perlzak. I'm the host of The Troy Show. Grew up in New Jersey, the suburbs of New Jersey. Love New York sports. I'm a Yankees fan. I'm a Jets fan. I guess I would say I'm a Brooklyn Nets follower, and I'm certainly a Devils fan. Nothing tougher than hockey. On this podcast, we're going to talk a lot of sports. We're going to talk... I feel like I have a little bit of knowledge up here in my head. At the young middle, weird age of 31. I feel like I have some wisdom I could pass on. I feel like I can help maybe some of people that are going through college right now. I feel like I could drop a nugget or two going through college the first time. 17 to 21 age bracket, right? I feel like I could drop a couple nuggets for you. I'm young enough that I still remember it's not too different, although this world is changing in a fucking hurry. I'm young enough that I still remember. I'm not too far off, but I'm old enough to say, hey, here's a little pitfall here. Watch out for that. Maybe a nugget will be, don't take sports too seriously. Don't invest too much into it. That'll be my nugget for the day. That's going to be my nugget for the day. That little curve I did, allow yourself to be a fan. You know, you don't have to bet on every single game. It's cool if you do. I got no problem with it. I lose tons of money betting. And every now and then I win, just like the rest of us. Right? Fantasy football is great, but if you're in 8 leagues, are you enjoying your Sundays? It depends. It depends. Certainly some people are. There's the Dave Rothenbergs of the world. You know, he's a radio host around us, and he's died. Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Just my only little nugget is remember that child in you. Remember that there's fandom. You know, there's value in that. There's value in just being able to sit down and relax and watch the game, because that's how it used to be. Win, lose, draw, bottom of the standings, late in the season, and you're supposed to be a World Series team. It never mattered as a kid. It just, the only thing you wanted was to watch your team go out and fight hard and follow their growth or demise. In New York, we're in a demise state right now. My plan for the next podcast, I want to start doing a countdown. There's 136. Tomorrow will be 135 days left until opening day, March 28th. Baseball opening day. I think that puts us, if you take the year 2023 and subtract, I did the math earlier, and subtract 185 from it. God, it puts you 1887? Might be 1887. Well, baseball, you know, really was coming into its own around that time. So I think I'm going to drop a little. I got to stop saying that. That was cool like 10 years ago. Hey, guys, here's a drop. Hey, you guys, I'm going to drop it. I'm going to drop a nugget. What the heck is that, Troy? I'm going to share some information on each year. My goal is to do a podcast every single day and share some information on each year. So 1885 or 1887, whatever I said it was going to be. I think 1887. I'm going to go through, you know, who was the best pitcher? What were the leagues like? I mean, there's some crazy names like, I think when I looked it up, it was like the Boston Bean Shooters or something, won in 86, I think. There was a pitcher that has 46 wins, and then the next year he had 60 wins. He pitched 600 innings. Chris Brownman or something like that. I forget. But I'm going to come prepared, really prepared tomorrow with some information. And if anybody is still listening, God bless you. If you went back and watched this again, maybe this is like a year in the future and I actually have some subscribers. I can't talk anymore, so I'm going to go up and watch the Monday Night Football. We got Denver tonight, and then we got the Bills tonight. We need Denver to win. The Jets could stay alive somehow in the AFC East race, and if the Bills lose, incredible. I will catch you guys later. One last time, I'm Troy Pearlzak, the host of The Troy Show, and I will catch you guys next time.